morning, all the coffee on this very chilly Wednesday morning. I had to think about what day of the week it was. All the coffee on this very chilly Wednesday morning. I don't know where you're at, but it's freaking cold here in Georgia. If you're up north, it's a lot colder, but it's 28 this morning in Georgia, 28 degrees, and that's pretty crazy for Georgia. So I got a PSA first thing this morning. I hate moving. I hate moving. Absolutely abhor it. It is my least favorite thing in the whole wide world to do. I, in my life, hope to never move again. That's not going to happen. But man, would I really, really, really love to never move again. That's not realistic. But I hate moving. Nonetheless, I promised you guys some bookish resolutions, and I'm bringing them. I have been meaning to get this out all January. It's the 8th of January, and you're finally getting your new year, new bookish resolutions. So, one of my biggest resolutions this year is to read more Hermione fanfiction. Guys, I'm in my Hermione era. I'm going to have a whole video next week about my Hermione era. And so I don't want to talk too much into it. I don't want to dive too much into it in this video. But I've read 2 amazing Hermione fanfiction. If you do not know what Hermione is, it is Draco and Hermione. And I've always, shipped it, I guess. This is not a new ship. But I just hadn't read a lot of fanfiction. And then I read Manacled over Christmas break last year. So, 2 weeks ago. And it kind of changed my life. Kind of changed my view of what fanfiction is, because it was better than a lot of novels I've read. Better than a lot of smutty published romance I've read. And so I decided to give it another shot with the auction, because I was like, maybe this was just a fluke. Maybe it's just this one. No. The auction was also phenomenal. So, we're going to have a whole video on my TBR for Hermione fanfiction this year. And, that's high on my New Year's resolution. Some other really want to reads this year for my New Year's bookish resolution. I keep wanting to say revolution. I don't know why. Just revolution rolls off my tongue better. Maybe it's the Eastern European in me. Maybe. But, Robin Hobb. I bought Assassin's Apprentice, and that is getting read this year. Now, when this year, I don't know, but sometime this year, Robin Hobb's books are getting started, at least. Will I get through all of Robin Hobb's series that revolve around that group of characters? Probably not. But I do plan to start them. Zodiac Academy. This one I've been putting off for a while. I cannot even tell you how many people have recommended this series to me. And I just, first of all, it's a lot of books. And second of all, I see people just sobbing on my TikTok reading the last one. And I don't need that kind of energy in my life right now. But I'm going to read them. I feel like it's a rite of passage. I'm a book reviewer who hasn't read Zodiac Academy. That's kind of crazy. Whether I love it or whether I hate it, I'm going to read it, and we're going to see. So, Zodiac Academy, getting read in 2025. I plan to hopefully read that whole series this year, unless I hate it. Unless it is the worst thing I've ever visually put into my brain. Then we're not reading all of it. We're DNFing the series. But I think it's going to be a 50-50 on it. I don't know if I'm going to love it or hate it. Another bookish resolution. A big one for me. A hard one for me. Probably the hardest on this list. I know I'm going to read more Hermione. I know I will read Assassin's Apprentice, at least, in the Robin Hobb world. I'm sure I'll start Zodiac Academy. That feels a little summery to me, so maybe in the summertime I'll start it. I'm going on a trip with my daughter this summer for her 16th birthday. I will most likely be binging Zodiac Academy on that trip. That feels like the right place to do it. But this is going to be the hardest one. And that is, I want to read at least one per month nonfiction. Whether it's a biography, whether it's a self-help, whatever it is, I want to do at least one nonfiction per month. That's a struggle, guys. It's already the 8th of January, and I don't have anything nonfiction on my radar. So I don't know how I'm going to pull this one off. But it is a goal. If I don't meet it and I at least read more nonfiction than I did last year, which was one. I read one nonfiction book last year, and that was Trauma in the Soul in December, and it was like pushing the end of the year. So if I only read 2+ nonfictions this year, that's more than I read last year, and I'll accept it. But I would like 12. I want one a month. That is a goal that I'm setting for myself, and it's a achievable goal. Like, I can start very easy into it with like a biography or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to justify as nonfiction, whether it's like, yeah, I mean, Lauren, you can't push what nonfiction is. You have to read nonfiction. I'm sitting here trying to mend what nonfiction is now. It's going to be something historical or self-help or biography, autobiography, something. We're going to do it. It's probably, like I said, going to be the hardest for me because reading is an escape for me, but reading can also teach you a lot, and whether it's in yourself or about your world, and that is something I want to dive into more, is learning more about the world around me and myself. So 2025 is going to be a great reading year. I did lower significantly my reading goal, guys. So last year I read 170 books. This year I set a goal of 100 books, and I do not want to grossly exceed that. And you're like, who makes a resolution to read less? This girl. Because I know my flaws, and reading is an escape for me. And I want to escape the real world a little bit less in 2025 and actually deal with things a little bit more in 2025, as well as put a little bit more space for some other hobbies. I want to get into bookbinding this year, which is a very expensive and time-taking hobby. And also, the Lego world is calling me, people. And we may do a video on it. But I guess because I'm in my Dromoyni era and Lego just dropped the Malfoy Manor, which a huge chunk of the auction and a good amount of Mana Gold takes place in, I need this Lego set, you guys. I don't own it yet. I'm really scared it's going to sell out. I wish I had a P.O. box because I would drop it for somebody, but I need this Lego set. But I'm moving right now, so I'm not buying it right now. We're not senselessly spending $150 on a Lego set right now. But buddy, do I need this Malfoy Manor Lego set in my life? And if I get my hands on it, you guys will see it. So yeah, that is my New Year's resolutions or bookish resolutions for 2025. Even though we are 8 days into 2025, I appreciate you guys still caring what my bookish resolutions are. I think all of them will be successes with a question mark beside that nonfiction one. I'm going into it positively. Like I said, if I just read more than last year, I'll be happy. But yeah, so please drop some nonfiction comments down below. If you have a biography or anything nonfiction that blew your mind or is really, really good or you really, really loved and you're like, ooh, Lauren might like this too, leave it in your comment section because I need it. I need it in my life. I need it to help me reach my goal of 12 nonfictions this year. And yeah, that is That's everything, guys, other than I hate moving. Like, I'll reiterate that. I will see you guys next week. I can't wait until you're not seeing this open background behind me anymore, and I'm back in a library. It's probably going to be like mid to end February before that time frame comes. So thank you so much for sticking with me while the background is not nearly as aesthetic as I like it to be. As you guys know, I love my space and my library space, and it's coming back in February, guys. I promise. We're just mid-move right now. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have the best rest of your day.